The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered! You covered 12! Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, boys and girls? How are you? Welcome into a Whale Watch Wednesday presented by Sport Trade, Bostonian versus The Book. I am back in Vegas. Travel details here in a second. Matt Perrault, Dave Sherapan. We have not Alex Kane today, but Jack Larkin coming by from Sport Trade. They have been seeing some massive, you would call them whale-sized bets on the Open Championship, which we'll get to here in about 15 minutes. All-Star game last night. Dave, that jacket is loud. How are you on this Wednesday?
Has all the patches of all the teams on the sides, on the back, on the front, as does the hat.
Yeah, the hat I can't do. The hat looks like something out of like a bad fever dream or something. I like the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt I could do. Hat looks crazy.
I got to put the P right in the front because we got to talk about the Pirates a little bit today.
There you go.
And what Skeens did. So yeah, this will stay. I can't stare at that Yankee emblem for 2 hours. So we're going to be here on the show.
Right.
Yeah. And no one else wants to do that either. Everybody, welcome. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that other stuff. We got some text last night on the text line while the show was re-airing on Sports Grid. So that was nice. If you're watching live here on the YouTube, on the Twitter, all that other stuff. If you're listening later on audio, you can do that. Or if you're watching live on Sports Grid or on the replay,
yeah,
but at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern, or listening on Sirius XM, welcome.
Hi.
It's is this the slowest day of all in all of sports?
Yeah. This is when the ESPYs used to be. We used to have the ESPYs, but
we don't have ESPYs today.
Well, because the WNBA is wrapping up the first half of their year today. So the final two games of the first half before they go on hiatus for the Olympics is today. So there's not that lull that we normally have with nothing. This is normally the nothing day. There are two WNBA games to take a look at, but other
than that,
horse.
I'm not a horse guy.
It's a good
claim to be, but it's a really good horse card today. Horses.
Oh, Eric Prezano, don't you know that Dave's house is an igloo? Don't you know that? Like his house is.
Bro, it's freezing in his mother.
I mean,
it's cold.
He's in a meat locker.
How hot was it when you landed yesterday? Did it feel different?
No, it felt great. Madeline and I were like, it feels phenomenal. It was 98. It was great.
Right.
Nice
Under 100. Welcome
warm
back.
Hug.
That's good.
Just like a warm hug. Just came out. Was like, oh, we're back. All right. It feels nice.
No humidity.
None of that. Just
minimal,
just a nice, easy, horrific travel day that I just have to tell you this day, because this day I've had bad travel days, but I don't know if this might take the cake.
Hold on, let me get the glasses for this. Because
I
asked you one question. How was your trip? And you went, save it for the show. You didn't say a word other than save it for the show.
So at 11:30 Eastern time yesterday, I ate a sandwich. Amanda went out and got us lunch. I ate a sandwich, getting ready for the show. Chicken pesto sandwich. Go ahead and we're all good. Eat it. Go do the show with you. We're all good. We're packing up. We're getting kind of going. We're on the way to the airport. It's a 6 p.m. Eastern time flight. About halfway into the drive, you get the text message. Flight's been delayed. Okay. How much? Hour and 45. Okay, fine. Flight's been delayed. Hour 45. We'll figure it out. That's fine. We tool around for a little bit, blow some time, and then get down there, get dropped off about 2 hours before, about 5:30. So we get through security really quickly. Airport's dead like I thought it would be. Best day to fly is Tuesday. There's nothing going on, and you just kind of run through Logan. No worries. Get to the gate really quick. I get to the gate before Amanda gets out of the airport because the traffic was really bad in Boston yesterday at rush hour. So we're at the gate. All of a sudden, it turns into, hey, we're half an hour out. They're like, we are changing gates. So now the flight's going to leave at 8:10, 7:30 to 8:10. All right, so now we go. As I'm walking from gate C9 to gate C15, I start sweating like really bad. Madeline looks at me and says, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Something's wrong." She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. Something's really wrong." I'm like, "Feel my forehead." She's like, puts her head a hand. She's like, "Daddy, you're burning up." I wasn't cold, but I was beet red. I'm like, "I don't know what's going on. What's going on?" So we go to C-15. We sit down. Mind you, it's me and my daughter in a crowded airport. Okay, that's all there is. There's no like help. There's no one watching. My daughter's turning 10, so she's not like she's 16, 17 and like be by herself for like any period of time. I'm like, "I'll be right back." She's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "You just have to stay here. You can't come with me." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I'm gonna get sick." She's like, "What?" Like, sit down. I go into the bathroom and I start puking my guts out.
Oh,
just
wonderful.
A projectile vomit. Like hardcore throwing up, turning my inside out over like probably 6 times. I'm like straight heaving.
Oh.
I'm going, this is a 5.5 hour flight.
Oh, no.
I have a 5.5 hour flight from Boston to Vegas, and I have food poisoning. What am I gonna do? So like, I'm freaking out. Madeline's freaking out. I'm calling everybody. I'm talking to my mom. I call my mom, who's a nurse, and I'm like, "What the hell do I do?" She's like, "First and foremost, go buy as much Pepto as you can buy. Like, go get it right now." I'm like, "Okay." I go and take 4 pills of Pepto, and I'm like, so hot. I'm overheated. My face is completely beet red. I'm like, can I just suffer my way through this? We've got 3 bags checked. Okay. Like that would be, if I don't get on this flight, like who knows where my luggage is going? Like all the equipment. I mean, everything is just like completely gone. So I'm like, I'm going to get on this plane and I'm going to pray that I'm all right. We get on the plane. The plane is so cold. Like everyone is freezing cold. It was probably like 55 degrees in the plane.
Yep.
Best thing that ever happened to me because it totally calmed down my system.
Yep.
And I was just like, I suffered through it. All I drank was 1 can of ginger ale. That's all that I drank. We sat on the tarmac for an hour and a half. After all of this, the delays, me puking, huge thunderstorms are rolling through New England. Sat in a weather delay on the tarmac, didn't move for an hour and a half. We finally take off, and it's like we're gonna cut some time off it, but it turned out to be like a 5-hour flight. I didn't get back here to Vegas till 4 a.m. Eastern time. It was 1 a.m. It was 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Eastern time.
Did you sleep on the plane?
I did a little bit. Yeah, I slept on the plane a little bit, but Madeline kept on falling asleep and leaning on the guy on the window. And he was getting very pissed off that a 10-year-old was sleeping on him because I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up and Madeline would have already leaned over. I'm like, lean over this way. I was like, what are we doing? So it was one of the worst travel days I've ever experienced, but I did not puke on the plane. The moral of the story is I puked in the airport and not on the plane.
Have you ever puked on a plane?
No. Have you?
I have never, but I was next to someone who did.
In the bag?
Yeah, in the bag.
Oh, I had 2 bags ready to go. I had 2 bags right in front of me. I was geared up. I'm like, man, if this happens, like I'm just gonna like straight up. Like I almost told the kid, but the kid was really weird. It was like this 25-year-old kid who was watching his screen. Like he couldn't see. So he was like this far away from the screen. Like he was watching like really close. I was like, can you see, dude? I was like, what's going on? He was making some really weird noise with his drink. And I was just like, I'm just going to leave you alone. So if I puke, deal with it. Like, it's just, it is what it is. So who puked? Your friend, your brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Oh,
yeah.
How long was the flight?
We were going to Florida from Pittsburgh. So it was
air sickness or like sickness?
I don't know what it was. Who knows? Okay. I mean, we've all puked on each other. Like we go back and think about it. Like we had bottom bunk, top bunk, and my brother leaned over the top bunk and threw up on me on the bottom bunk.
Oh,
and yeah, like so that's all happened. And then, it's been years, but all 3 of my kids puked all over me.
Right, of course. That's just par for the course. Yeah, kids puking.
Yeah.
Madeline woke up one day and just leaned over and just went puked all over me, the bed, the dog. She covered the dog. So it's happened before.
So you think it was the chicken pesto sandwich?
Because all I ever equate to when I get sick like that, all I ever think about is what made me sick. Like thinking about it, what made me sick.
Right.
And the sandwich, thinking about the sandwich makes me sick. So I think it was the sandwich that I ate for lunch was just because I'm not sick now. I haven't gotten sick since. Like my stomach feels a little bit queasy, but like, for the most part, I've been okay. But I was really, really, really nervous, and the delays kind of helped me out. Right. So in the weird scheme of things, that would have been a decent move, or because it was on time, that may have happened up in the air.
Right.
And that would have been
universe is all working. That's good.
Right. Kept me away. So that wasn't fun. So if I'm dragging today, guys, that's kind of why I'm not feeling.
So no chicken pesto for lunch.
No, nothing for lunch. I ate some. What did I eat? I had a donut and I had something else this morning, or yogurt for breakfast. I'm trying to go a little bit on the lighter side.
Yeah, that's
this. But I'm completely obsessed with. I'm back to drinking Dunkin' iced coffees every day. I'm like back at home.
Yeah,
I had one a day basically while I was home for 17 days. I basically had one a day, and I was like, "All right, let's just keep it going." Madeline's like, "I want Dunkin' Donuts." I was like, "We're in Vegas now." She's like, "I know, I want Dunkin' now." I'm like, "Okay, let's go get it. Let's go figure it out." So we're able to go and do that. Before we get to Jack and talk a little bit about what's happened with the Open Championship, the Mirage closes today.
Yeah,
after over 30 years of being in business. I don't know if people really understand what the Mirage meant. It was the first ever super resort here in Vegas. I mean, being a guy who was here for as long as you have been here in Vegas, any nostalgia for you that this thing is closing tonight?
Yeah, this was my first trip to Vegas was to here. I was 21 years old, 91. I came and had to go and see it, watch the volcano and all that other stuff, have CPK at the sports book. Until I moved here, it was a staple. We had one of the best runs ever on what we used to call the Clown Bowl. It was all the clowns from Penn State. Like, I don't know why we called it Clown Bowl. It should have been Clown Fest, but it was Clown Bowl, like Tecmo Bowl.
Oh,
melded the two. We met here and gambled, ate, drank, bet on March Madness. And the Mirage was our spot. And my buddy Norm started stacking red chips on the table, and he would only get paid in red chips. And at one point, he took all of the red chips out of the table, and the dealer was like, "Sir, you have to take green chips now. We don't have any more red chips." He was stacking. He had $200 in red
$5.
Yeah, he kept stacking them up and adding on to his bet and then getting paid. It was insane. And when he finally lost, we colored up. He had no idea how much he won. And we went in the bathroom to count the money because he had an uncomfortable amount of money. It was for us at the time, just out of college, he had probably 7 dimes.
Okay.
Like ran it up into cash. It was tremendous. But that place is, we know a lot of people that work there. And Patrick's doing these videos with people that work there between Stonebeck and Jay Rude and telling stories, the betting stories and all this other stuff. I tweeted a story this morning from a butler, told a story about high rollers there in the suites and all that other stuff. That's the weird stuff that kind of comes out after. It's wild. I mean, we used to take the kids there like on a Friday night, something to do. Let's go watch the volcano, So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a big guitar there.
Gigantic guitar there.
The news, which I watched the news last night because I was watching the All-Star game and it went right to the news.
Yeah.
Said that's going to become a major construction zone starting next week.
Yep. On top of F1.
I was like,
on top of
that corner. Please don't mess up that corner.
Oh, yeah. They're demoing. I mean, they got to get rid of the volcano. They got to get rid of that whole area. They got to clean it. Man. That whole area has to be flattened. All of it has to be flattened. Be replaced by a gigantic 600 or 60-story guitar, right? 600-foot guitar that's going there.
So. Yeah, 60 stores, right?
60 stores. So
the tower's going to be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be huge. So that's coming up, in 2027. So
They're
3+
not
years.
knocking down the building.
No, not the Mirage X, the Y,
right.
the Y, because that was really that was the revolutionary part of what the Mirage had that nobody had before.
Right.
It had the Y design where nobody was going to walk more than 300 feet from their centralized elevator, and then 300 feet to their room. Steve Wynn was like, no one's going to have to walk far to get to their hotel room. We don't want people walking all these huge distances.
Which, if you've gone to a lot of places in Vegas, sometimes it feels like the walk from the elevator to your room is forever. You can easily get lost. And if you get a room that's far from the elevator, I learned that coming up here a lot. I was like, hey, can I get a room close to the elevator? I specifically asked the host for a room closer to the elevator because there were nights where you were just dead tired and you come upstairs. You're like, I ain't walking down that hall. I can't do it.
True. By the way, thanks for watching. Our friend Todd
Furman.
Todd Furman. How is Sports BK not wearing a lid from yesterday's All-Star game? Feels like a complete failure. Do you feel like you're failing, Dave? That you didn't take the opportunity to wear a lid from the All-Star game yesterday?
We'll talk about that. I got a couple other hats to wear during the show, but thank you, Furman. This is my celebration of baseball hat. I couldn't figure out specifically which one to wear.
No, let's be honest. Let's just be honest. You don't want to wear that hat. You don't want to wear that hat.
Anybody, but I had that hat put in my hand. I put it on my head. I said, you know what? This isn't for me.
Ain't for me.
I just game recognized game.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
What is that uniform? It's something out of a little league.
I don't know.
I've seen better uniforms been made at like Legion League, 15-year-old baseball leagues.
I know.
The hell is that?
I know.
I mean, Nike, what are we doing? It's pathetic.
It's really hard to, like, now when you're watching the game, like I know I watch the game while I'm on Sports Grid and doing all this other stuff. I don't know who the player is when they're all wearing the same uniform. Like, I know when whoever it is, I mean, you know who Ohtani is, but like Gunnar Henderson runs the second base. I don't know that that's him until I see it up close.
Right. It's fair.
Let's go back to the uniforms.
I don't know. It doesn't make it doesn't make any sense.
Talk about that after we.
It doesn't make any sense. It's a Whale Watch Wednesday, boys and girls. Sport Trade had a lot of action. Open Championship. Jack Larkin joining us here from Sport Trade once again here on BVB. Jack, Matt, and Dave, how are you? Open Championship starts real early this morning, but tomorrow over at Royal Troon. How are you,
guys? Thanks for having me on again. I'm good.
All right, we've heard rumors of your golf game. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of let this out here, because according to Alex Kane, you're one hell of a golfer. So what is your golf resume, sir?
I'm trying to keep it intact. I still play a decent amount. I played at Georgia, now 5 years ago I graduated.
Okay.
Still trying to play in some mid-amateur and amateur events. So trying to keep the game somewhat sharp, but it's a little more difficult when you work full time.
Yeah, the job gets in the way of the golf game. That happens. Right. But how often are you at the range, like hitting balls and working on the craft? Are you there like not nearly as much as you were, but I mean, like what? I mean, and let's be honest. I mean, there might be guys watching that you're going to golf with when you come out and all this other stuff. 2 times a week, putting and chipping.
Yeah. For me, if I can get out like once or twice a week, I'm usually fine. Usually like late in the evenings during the summer months, just to get out and either hit balls or play 9, like just enough to kind of keep it going habitually. That's usually all I need to kind of keep it somewhat in check.
Alex said that your dad actually is a better golfer than you are. Is this true?
That is 100% true. That is like without a doubt true. I promise you. He is, as I was telling someone earlier in the week, he is the rabbit that I'm always trying to chase. And at 63, he continues to impress and beat me regularly.
Damn, is that here? I mean, is that here? Is it physical? Why is that?
He has the luxury of playing a lot more frequently and in a lot more tournament play, and he has not let up with age.
Wow.
So I would say, Dave, it is both mentally and physically both. He just continues to keep up even in his older age now.
So do you guys, when you play, do you give any strokes? Is it
no strokes?
Is it no strokes?
Straight up, no strokes, nothing.
And he still beats you.
Yes, pretty regularly. I would say he usually gets it on individual rounds 7 out of 10 times.
Wow.
I'm still sneaking in 3 or 4 times out of 10, which is still good. And it's, you gotta bring your A game to beat him.
Well, 3 out of 10 ain't bad if you guys are taking bets like you guys are taking with this Sport Trade app and Whale Watcher Wednesday. I'm 100% transparency. I wake up Wednesday and I just open up the app and I watch the whale tracker and I'm like, the tape. I see the tape and I'm like, man, these guys are rolling right now. How has the action been, sir, this week with it being the last major, the Open Championship?
It has been busy. Even yesterday too. I mean, we saw a ton of action yesterday on Tuesday, and just this morning we've seen a ton of stuff coming through. Which is so awesome to see. I mean, I feel like it's just a constant flow. If you're checking the tape from, 9, 10, 11 a.m., it's just constant bets both ways, different markets. It's awesome to see.
So let's talk about
compare it real quick to like Masters. Is is this the same, close?
It's about the same as the Masters. Yes. I think over the course of the year, we've seen a steady increase on a weekly basis. The Masters is just everyone gravitates towards it. If you look at it at the end of the year, that's normally the biggest event of the year. But I'd say this week is right up there with it.
I'm talking to Jack Larkin from Sport Trade here on a Whale Watch Wednesday. Whale Watch is what we're doing here. This has been a little bit of a different thing that we have seen, Jack, and I want to ask you just from a handle perspective. So we have seen a lot of the no bets, right? The Robert McIntyre betting $73,000 on the no to have a potential profit of $1,100, basically $1,200. The difference for the Open are these $3,500 and $4,500 bets on to win, which would bring back $65,000 and $69,000. Are you seeing more outright winner market bets coming in, or are we still seeing a lot of the big time $73,000+ bets coming in on the no markets you guys have up?
We're to be honest with you, we're seeing a lot of both. We're seeing a lot more of these winner outrights coming in, but just in the last 15 minutes, we had someone put up 98,500 on Finau. No. So just when we see some of these larger bets coming in on the winner market, immediately another no is thrown in there just to mix it up.
See, that's good because I think it was Alex or it was the Sport Trade account. I saw it on Twitter comparing the prices. Like it's really, I think, kind of getting out there that when you're comparing the prices in especially the 3 states you're in, you almost have the best price on everything, whether it's the win or the no, the matchups. I mean, people are firing 10 dimes, 15 dimes on golf matchups. The key is that, again, I've used this word with Alex, I use it with you. The liquidity is going up, is it not, in all markets?
Correct. Yeah, the liquidity will continue to go up as we get closer to the tournament start. Now, granted, with the overnight start time at 1:35 Eastern, we won't have any pre-tournament trading in the morning, but throughout the day, the liquidity will continue to go up. And you can see the pricing remain so competitive across both ways when you have this two-way action. When you see guys betting, player A versus player B, and both sides are getting hit, you're having some of the best prices on both sides, which is awesome to see from our standpoint.
Do you guys anticipate, and this is sort of, they're calling it the new Tiger rules, but is Scottie Scheffler going to be a liability for you guys? Because right now he just became the first golfer since Tiger to be favored in all 4 majors in a calendar year.
Not as much. I think there was a pretty big position on him to win from someone took out, but for the most part, no, we're not seeing as much liability on Scottie. We're seeing it elsewhere on the odds board, though.
On who kind of?
Where's
the bigger positions as far
we've
as
seen some large positions? Yeah, some large positions on Aaron Rye, some large positions on Xander to win. Those are two that really jump out. I want to say Corey Connors was another off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big number there at plus 1,500 at $4,400 on that to bring back 69,000 on Xander Schauffele. Somebody likes him.
Morikawa gets the bets all like every time he plays, though, doesn't he? Like there's people that love to back him consistently. Yes.
Xander and Morikawa both. I think pretty regularly we see some customers backing both of those guys on a weekly basis, especially for some of these larger elevated events and majors.
Head-to-head is a marketplace that we've talked with Alex a lot. Are you guys still seeing the 4-round head-to-heads being hit pretty heavily?
Very, very regularly. I think this week we have about 40 matchups, and they've been extremely popular all week. So we usually list the majority of those starting on Tuesday morning, and then they fill in throughout the day on Tuesday. And we continue to see customers, taking different players both ways the majority of the week leading up to the tournament. So
all
those have been
round
extremely
matchups,
popular.
Jack, or are they 1-round matchups?
All 4-round matchups right now. So everything's tournament matchup based, and we're going to at some point soon look to introduce the individual round matchups as well.
Okay. As a golfer, where does the Open Championship rate for you personally as far as the majors? I mean, you're a Georgia guy and everything. I wouldn't be surprised for you to say Masters 1, but then is it Open Championship 2 or is it US Open? And then I would agree or maybe kind of assume PGA Championship is last. Where's the Open Championship for you personally?
For me, the Open Championship is it's either a 2 or 3 right there at the US Open. I mean, I think the Open Championship is so unique and so fun to watch. I'd probably put it at 2, just slightly above the US Open, but being from Georgia, golfer, I have to put the Masters at number 1.
Fair.
Of course. Yes, that's fair. You individually, you personally, do you have your eye on anybody you like for this week?
I do. I really like Ludwig. I feel like he's been playing extremely well. He had that knee injury post Masters leading into the PGA. I think set him back a little bit, but obviously he played well at the Scottish Open last week and couldn't get it done. But I do like him going into this week.
What about Rory? Like, what do you do with Rory? Because there's people adamantly fading him, and there's people that just want to see him win and do well and like backing him. But what do you think?
I think something like he went through the US Open is just so tough mentally to come back from. And I mean, even with a guy with his caliber and his resume and his skill, I mean, it's just so difficult to see where he put himself on Sunday and to not get it done. I mean, you talk about the mental aspect. I mean, that's tough. And I think he even alluded to it, post tournament.
He's the second choice at a lot of places, Jack. Like, and I'm sure you're going to get somebody coming in, if you haven't already, to say no. So it'll be one of those situations where I'm with you. I think he's a fade until further notice. He has to get over whatever that is. But there'll be people that back him in some books. I mean, he's literally the second choice.
For us, it's interesting. We actually haven't seen a ton of Rory action either for him or against him. It's been pretty neutral. Yeah. Which is surprising. I think a lot of our customers are just gravitating towards other guys. And I think to your point, Dave, it's like, hey, he's obviously one of the best players, if not the best player besides Scotty. And at the same time, people don't know how he's going to respond post US Open.
All right. I am jacked up and fired up for football. You're a Georgia guy. You're wearing the Georgia shirt. Dave and I have been going back and forth. Dave doesn't get the SEC passion, but
I get it.
Where are you as a Georgia fan? You guys are going to Texas. Nick Saban's up here on national TV saying to these Texas people, pump the brakes. You guys aren't running anything. This is the SEC. Come on in here, learn the ropes before you run your mouth, even though he's taking Texas to face Georgia in the SEC championship. You guys are playing in Austin. Who's winning Georgia at Austin against Texas? You like the Dogs to go on the road and win on the road in a big game?
I mean, I have to. I absolutely think we're going to get it done. I think that is going to be one hell of a dogfight of a game, though. I am admittedly so excited, and everyone in Austin is going to be so fired up for one of their big time first SEC home games. So it will be tough, but I'm sticking with my guys. I'm not leaving them out to dry like that.
Last one for me, sir. All right, he's been talking about the SEC. It means more. Blah 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 blah. I know Between the Hedges is a great place to watch the game, but where in the SEC would someone be surprised to hear is a really great venue to watch a game that you've been? You've been to road games in the SEC, have you not?
I have.
Give me your favorite place that you've seen a game, not Georgia.
Even though when I visited, we got destroyed, I love going to Oxford at Ole Miss to watch those games. It is such a cool environment, atmosphere. The people there love it. The tailgating beforehand in the Grove is so unique and so cool. I think that whole experience is awesome and severely underrated from what I personally expected going into it.
Fair. I mean, Oxford is tremendous. LSU is tremendous. Tennessee is tremendous. Florida is tremendous. I mean, the only bad quote unquote venue is Vanderbilt, but it's in Nashville. So it's a city campus and there's fun stuff to do when you go
100%.
there. So it's not horrible. Starkville's not great. It's probably my least favorite stadium to go to is Mississippi State, but it's still a decent venue, and the damn cowbells, well, you'll leave with a headache going there. So they got their calling card, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. So are you comfortable being still up top? I mean, no Nick Saban here. Georgia fans must feel like this is your conference now, is it not?
I personally feel confident. Yeah. I mean, last year too, we got to remember we had a great year last year, and we just lost it the wrong time going into the playoffs. And so I think something like that, you remember, you have all off season to think about. So as far as staying at the top going into it, I don't think that matters for us one way or the other. I think as far as we're concerned, we didn't win our last game of the year in the playoffs because we didn't make it to the playoffs. Now, granted, we played very well in the bowl game, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning your last game of the playoffs, it's not a successful year right now. So I think we remember that going into this season, and we're gonna be focused going into it.
Georgia's the new Alabama, as they say. If you guys have not downloaded the tape, go do so. It's available on all iOS devices, soon to be available on Android as well. You can see every trade made on Sports Trade in real time. It's cool. It's available in every single state. Go and download it. You can check out the tape and see what's going on at Sport Trade for the Open Championship and more. Jack, good stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys.
As Jack Larkin from Sport Trade joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book on a Whale Watch Wednesday. Good to get him on the show talking about everything happening at Sport Trade for the Open Championship. And I can't wait for college football. I just can't wait. Everyone posting these darn college football 25 clips. Give me more. Give me more,
right?
more.
Yeah.
Now that I'm back, I might need to go upgrade the system and go play a little college football. Get into it.
Time to play college football.
We don't have to play. It's true. We don't have time to play college football, but it is still a lot of fun.
We got to wait at least a couple weeks. We got to get these other
things done,
taken care of, and things called.
But then I'm going to watch real college football and not want to play a video game. That's the problem. I'll play it right now because I'm jonesing. I need something. But once the game starts, I'd rather watch a real game than play a fake game.
Can't even argue that. I love playing the game, but I mean, I'd much rather watch the games.
Yeah. No.
I had the handheld, that Sony handheld.
Yeah.
That became an obsession for a while. It was the game was the college football game.
Right.
It was the handheld.
Yeah, it's
my
good
wife
stuff.
was like, why? You cannot bring this into the bed. Like you're playing the game all night. I get the headphones. She's like, click. Go downstairs. Yeah.
Click. It's too
good.
much. Chef Benny might be coming out to watch games in October. Come on out. Let's go.
Really?
Let's come on out. Let's have some fun. Who knows? We may actually have a venue for you to come out and be a part of the show.
Please.
Just say we might. I don't know. I'm just saying we might.
Just
things are going, I don't know. If you guys want to have us, you can have us during football season. Come on. Anybody, anybody in town, anybody out of town.
We're open for business.
Anybody out of town, in town, out of town, it's all good. Come on in.
We got
PVP
places.
Live.
We
Football
might
season.
have a place. Yeah.
Or multiple places. You never know. We have multiple places. We're going whenever we're going. Circa next Friday, a week from tomorrow.
Reno.
And then a week from to Friday, actually. A week from Friday to Reno.
Yep.
And then we're going to Circa August 22nd and 23rd. So those are our next 2 live shows outside of our home studios. And then we get rolling to football and everything else with the NFL kicking off and as we run. So it should be very exciting stuff. All right. What happened last night? The American League won the All-Star game 5-3, 10th win in 11 games. Just domination, Dave. They all just dominates.
Trail 3-0. The in game was absurd. How it flew up.
Yep.
When Ohtani hit that home run. And Ohtani hitting that home run was the moment until this other guy hit his home run. And the American League wins again. Lupton, Bob Lupton, love that kid, guy, whatever. He tweets, death, taxes, and the American League winning another All-Star game.
Just happens. Duran was
keep happening.
5 plus 5,000. It's on books.
Oh, yeah, 50-1. Thanks for coming.
To win the MVP. That was outside shot. He gets it done.
They all are after the top names because you don't even know when they're getting in, how many at-bats they're going to get, if any at all, and all this other stuff. I mean, you want to talk about a random. Like if you're bragging today that you hit this, congratulations.
Okay. There are numerous people who are doing doing the victory lap.
Okay, that's awesome. Congrats. But it didn't. It's highly random, overrated. Congratulations, tip of the cap. Good job.
Yeah, it feels to me very similar to like a roulette wheel play. Like, okay, so you hit the number. That's great.
Yeah, I had 18. Sure.
Yeah, hit the number. That's happy for you. Hit the number. I just like the fact that Duran won the Ted Williams MVP, and he was very vocal about how cool that was as a Red Sox outfielder to win the All-Star Game MVP that's named after Ted Williams, because he joins J.D. Drew, Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens, and Yaz as Red Sox All-Star MVPs. Is Jared Duran going to be more like the last 3 names or the first name? Because J.D. Drew is pretty much just like an also-ran. Like Red Sox fans, we have a soft spot in our hearts for J.D. Drew from the 04 season and what J.D. Drew did. He was like a really good, great player, if that makes sense. Like he wasn't like the elite, but he was just like a really, really good, great player who did things like this: All-Star Game MVP, World Series champ. But he's not in the same category as Pedro, Clemens, and Yaz. What does Duran turn into?
If I knew the answer to that question, I'd be his agent. I don't know, but I love the way he plays.
See, JD who? Right. See, there's a lot of people who don't know who JD Drew is.
Jimmy Football. There you go. Appreciate Jimmy Football being here. He's become a nice contributor to the chat and got the email.
Jaron Duran to me, Jaron Duran is going to be a player that Red Sox fans have been waiting for this kid to do this for a long time. He got blasted for years, and that's why he has he has the fuck 'em t-shirt. Okay. He wore it on TV. He wore on TV a fuck 'em t-shirt. And then last night on the inside of his jacket on the red carpet walk, Jaron Duran had a fuck 'em on his inside of the lapel.
That's 3 times
on this.
That's so 3 times.
So like that was I am here for Jaron Duran to do these.
The shirt say?
Fuck 'em.
4 times.
Like, it's great. I'm in. I was in before he did this last night.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and does it last night. He only has 10 home runs on the year. Okay. He leads the American League in doubles and triples. Like, this guy is a doubles and triples guy, not a 2-run bomb guy to win the damn thing.
But he got it.
And I mean, that's one of those just moments you're like, okay, what does this do to a guy who was relatively unknown by the casual to now have a moment like that? I mean, Hunter Green's a fly ball pitcher anywhere, but yes, that's FEA, Jeff Benny. That's we may have a new owner of FEA in Boston.
Yeah.
It was Tom Brady's for a while, but now it very well might be Jaron Duran.
Those are those moments that make you known to the rest of the league fans. Red Sox fans know him. Really cool thing. I guess because the show's called Bostonian versus the book, and we've been talking about Boston stuff so long, I'm having Boston things appear in my social media feed on Twitter at SportsBeatCakeAndSig.
Yep.
Fred Lynn and I interacted last night. So
Fred Lynn.
the Fred Lynn
Does he
tweeted
run his own
something.
account?
Fred Lynn, I would assume, does. Fred Lynn is like, I mean, he's always a cool player back then, and he went from the Red Sox to the Angels. So
Legend.
This is
Absolute
cool.
legend.
He
Freddie
tweeted
Lynn?
something yesterday, and I did my tell him Fred thing with say that shit. I mean, you've already said it 3-4 times, so Will's already working. Thank you, Will. But I said, say that shit, and he responded with the like, and then I answered something else that he said. So I was like, this is Fred Lynn. I mean, Will Clark and I follow each other.
Which is getting mad at you.
Not getting no tattoos.
He's getting mad at you.
It's starting to
Why?
appear
Come on.
in my feed.
Get that. Come on, get that. Get that tattoo.
I ain't getting that. I ain't getting no tattoos. But I like this stuff, and I like the player. That was a cool moment. That was fun.
Yeah.
And it went over the total, which means
I mean, if that is a solo shot, he probably still wins the MVP. They win the game,
100%.
and I hit my under. Like I was like, the 2-run shot killed me. I was like, dang it. I was like,
you were flying while the game was on.
I was watching it.
Okay. I was on in-game live, and in-game total shot up to 10.5.
Oh my.
And I immediately said to Wetzel, hold on, timeout, 20-second timeout.
Bury it.
Play under. You got to play under 10.5. That's too high. You see the way the back end of these games go?
Yep. I mean, the front end of the games too. I mean, we'll get to it in a second, but I mean, the front ends weren't exactly offensive, big inning type performances.
The last 13 outs, Sheehan wrote it in his newsletter today. Joe Sheehan, who we've had on the show, newsletter writer, baseball guy, kind of summed up the All-Star game, mentioned the uniforms and all other stuff, but 13 last batters, 7 of them were strikeouts.
Dang.
Over half of the outs were strikeouts.
Yeah, power closers.
The rest were dribblers. Like, it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So the algorithm doesn't know that. Like, it's counting outs, left, innings, and all this. It shoots up to 10.5. I'm like, yeah, there's got to be an underplay, and it worked out.
Well, it is a Ohtani watch, as you mentioned. 3-run, 400-foot blast for Ohtani off the Red Sox starter, Tanner Houck. With a 2-run home run, I get my bet. It hits the under. The 3-run, Jack, that was the only runs for the National League, was one swing by Shohei Ohtani, who became the first Dodger to homer in an All-Star game since Piazza did it in 1996. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Since that happened.
Is the guy... You want to talk about, like, you hear people say it, you hear the kids say it, I was built for this, or, I am him and all that other stuff, whatever they say, I'm the GOAT.
Yep.
Ohtani's in. Ohtani is in. Like, he's getting it all. They said it on the broadcast. He got the swag now. He looks good in the Dodger blue. Whatever that uniform was last night, he still made it look okay. Like, I'm like, did he just do this? They got him in the first at-bat.
They did.
And Houck put that ball right down the middle.
Oh, God, what a meatball.
That was a mistake. Gone.
I mean, the faces of Soto and Aaron Judge, when the ball left his bat, they were like, what the hell? Like, they just knew that, like, this is different. Like, I love it when guys who are in the game, who are at the height of their game, get wowed by somebody, because you know how spectacular the player actually is. When they're looking at each other going like, yo, what was that? Like, what did that guy just do?
Yeah.
Oh my, like, whack. And you're like, holy crap. Like, that ball just went for Shohei Ohtani. But that was it for the National League, because Paul Skeens, Corbin Burns, Murphy comes in. That left a mark on the books, did it not? That was a big bet. Yeah. A lot of Murphys came
Sherman
in, right?
told us that yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That it was the most bet thing. Was the Murphy.
Everyone came in on the Murphy.
It's in the middle of the summer. It's one game.
Right.
Going to take an L. It's okay. They're open today. They're taking all the open bets in the world. So, yeah, they lost on that. wasn't even really in danger. I was happy that I think Soto's pitch was a strike.
Oh,
The catcher just got crossed up.
okay.
He missed it. And then Judge comes up and swings at the first pitch. Gets
You got the
ground ball.
moment you
Like,
wanted.
damn it.
You got the moment you wanted him to face Judge.
I did.
So you got it.
But I wanted one strikeout. He didn't get one strikeout. They cleaned up on the strikeout props. The 1, 2, 3,
Right.
all the odds things that they gave away for Skeens. I mean, he got a pop up, a dribbler back to the mound, and a ground out to third after a walk. So he got 3 outs, 4 batters, no strikeouts. Nobody won that. No, I would venture to say that was one of those double zeros on the roulette wheel. Click, 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 click. You take all the chips. Nobody bet 0 Ks.
Yeah. Someone just on the chat just said, I need to know the odds of him having 0 Ks.
Yeah.
On this. And I think it's a fair point. I mean, need to know the odds for Skeens not to throw a single K in the All-Star game.
It was high.
Yeah, it had to have been.
1 K was minus 180. 2 Ks was just over even money. 3 was like 6-1 or something. And I don't know what 0 was. It had to be high. So
had to be high.
Yeah.
The person who made these uniforms might have had to have been high as well.
Oh boy.
What are we doing with the National League and American League uniforms? Like what is this? Like this is so bad. This is something you would find on like a kid's rack somewhere at some Dick's Sporting Goods for 45% off to go get this. Like does Major League Baseball actually think that people would go out and buy that jersey? Is that why we have these alternative jerseys? Because no one's buying that. No one's wearing that uniform.
Again, I asked the kids everything. And I asked them when I first saw it, what do you guys think of this? Jim Montgomery, right there. Great avatar, by the way, Monty. He said beer league. The kids didn't say beer league. The kids said that'd be worse than our travel uniforms were. Like back in the day. Like we ended up ramping up and getting better uniforms, but those are like the beginner ones with the shoulders and the different colors. And I don't know, man. I don't know. They need to go back to wearing those on Monday and then the regular uniforms Tuesday for the game, like they used to. That's the way, you adopt the city where the host is, you adopt their colors into the BP jerseys, and then you wear your uniforms. Home team whites, away team grays. Simple.
It's easy. Just wear the uniforms that the players play for. Like, it's not hard. You put a patch on it and we're all good. Like, we don't need to have this. If the idea is we want to have jerseys, a uniform, literally make it uniform for everyone wearing the same jersey, Nike has, I don't know what is going on with baseball in these uniforms, but like they keep on dropping the ball. We were all having these problems. People like the City Connect were all the problem. Like these City Connects look awful. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. But just the quality of the uniform has been under question for both NFL, for Major League Baseball, for the NBA. Like we're getting to the point where we're starting to see the seams here. Like we're not getting it done properly.
Literally seeing the seams.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like you got this and you flip it over and it's like it's all this nonsense because we're trying so hard to create these new uniforms and new looks and new everything that we're running out of ideas. And then production gets screwed up and the quality is dropping. And it's just like, wait a minute, this is Major League Baseball. This is the NFL. This is the NBA. Like there should be a standard that has to be met. And if the company that's making the jersey, Nike, Fanatics, whoever, if you can't produce a jersey that meets the standard, the league has to say to its partner, we're not putting our players in your uniform. Go fix it. And then we'll come back and then we'll use your uniforms. But we're not doing it right now.
Yeah.
Like you're hurting us, not helping us.
Brother Doug has been with me when I've bought merch.
Yep.
And, my kids can't stand it anymore when I'm out, but like I am so anal about the stuff that I buy. It has to be the classic stuff. It has to be the old school stuff with the stitching. And there's so many different, I look at everything. I can't imagine playing in one that's not that standard. Like it's, back in the day we had the guy who cleaned the Pirate uniforms. He was on the route.
Okay.
He used to come to our house and pick up the dry cleaning, and he had the Pirate uniforms in the back in the van. So back in the day, he would be the last stop. We would be the last stop at the house, and the cleaner would come by and be like, "Hey guys, you want to come out and see the uniforms? Put on Tony Pena's uniform, all these other different." But it was so much fun. But it was like a big deal to actually feel the quality uniform. I'm like, we were all playing baseball, and we dreamed of having a shirt that had the stitching done like that. They're not like that anymore.
Cost. It's all about cost. Keep the cost down.
Come on.
It's ridiculous. I agree. That's what's going on.
They don't have the money for the unis.
They do. They don't want to spend it. If I can spend 5 to make 50, I'd rather spend that than spend 15 to make 50. I'd rather do that. I'd rather have a higher ROI.
Not buying it.
It's a money grab. It sucks, but it needs to change. Terrible. Fanatics, Nike, whoever's doing it. I mean, it's just make it right. Make the uniforms right. Period. Go back. That's a nice patch.
That's the old school Pirate one.
Oh, that's a good patch. All right. I thought this might be fun to go ahead and have a conversation about future wagers. You can tell me whether or not you think these bets are going to cash, because I've got a bunch of them. DraftKings has put this back up, guys, in case you're curious. DraftKings has posted all win totals here at the break, trying to generate some action on the futures market.
I like that.
I do too. So they've reposted every team, all 30 teams, their adjusted win total. You guys can go bet it right now for where we are. So let's start with the Red Sox. I bet over 77.5 wins. Their current number is 85.5. 2 questions. The first is are we going over 77.5 for the Red Sox for wins?
Boy, you'll be extremely bummed out if that doesn't happen at this point, right? Like, you're +8 on pace.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 65 games left.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get this is a bummer for all Red Sox fans, let alone people that have this bet over.
I would agree.
I think you get over.
How about 85.5?
It's between those two.
Do we go so on? You could middle it then if you wanted to and bet under
For
85
sure.
Under 85.5 right now.
This is the problem of putting these up as the book. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
You know, if you're at all hesitant that you're not going to get over your first number, you get an 8-game middle. I have guys that will take your position and do whatever they need to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
An 8-game middle on a season win in baseball. There's 30 teams in baseball. Those season win numbers, the variance is within 5 on 25 of those totals, right? Usually within 5 wins or losses of those totals on 25 teams. 5 you just miss. Wrong. Somebody plays way above expectations, way below. That's a good number.
Marlins under 77.5. The current number is 59.5.
Let it go, bro. You don't need to do nothing. Why would you in the world want to bet over 59.5?
So no middle. I have a bigger middle opportunity here. I have almost 20. I have a 20-game middle.
You have a very good bet. It would take, I don't even think mathematically they can get 77.5 wins.
It has not been eliminated yet, but it's not.
It's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it would be pretty damn close to being eliminated.
Put that one in your pocket. We don't need to mess with that one.
77.5. Current number 59.5 for the Marlins. Do they go over 59.5 at all? Any shot?
That's the chat. We got baseball heads in here. Marlins current number 59.5 over or under. 60 games is 102 losses. I think they lose more than that.
Wow.
I would say under.
Under 59.5. That's the worst record in baseball.
They're headed that way.
Unless the Rockies get to them, because I have
the other team.
I have under 60.5 wins. Current number is 57.5.
No, this one you may have to entertain. Right? This is going to be a sweat to the last day. You're going to
three bet hinge point there.
Right. I mean, that for a middle stinks, but what if they win 61? You're going to be sick. After taking that one all the way down. The good thing is if they get to 60, you can then bet them.
But you like to over
for the Marlins?
Over for the Rockies.
Yeah. You're
Over,
supposed to bet that over. Yes.
Over 7.5.
Yeah. You're supposed to bet that over.
Mm.
I do. I'm with him. I mean, I'm with him anyway. Deuces.
These two aren't so good. Cubs over 83.5. Current number is 79.5. This one might be in the garbage can.
Yeah, I was thinking Kaka.
Yeah, this one might be dead. I may need bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that one. I mean, it's just thank you, Butchie, for thinking. Like it's almost like it came out. I was like, done.
Yeah, this might be dead. 83.5. I still think there's a shot that they get there, but I don't know. I mean, they need to have a really big second half, probably make a pretty big trade, pick up a bat, help the offense. I'm not sure the Cubs are going to do that.
You'll know with this one by the end of July.
Agreed. Yeah, I would agree.
It's only a couple weeks away. You're going to know.
Well, trade deadline too. You know, if they're
I
active.
know. I mean, we're going to Reno on the 26th.
Yep.
The following week, we got the trade deadline. We'll know by that roll call Friday. We can revisit these numbers and go, oh, JC from KC said the Cubs always rip your heart out. I bet them over last year. Trash can.
Yeah, maybe trash can. And then finally, the D-backs over 83.5 wins. Current number 82.5.
That one's good number, right?
Mm-hmm.
No real option for you.
Let it ride.
Unless you want to go under 82.5 and middle yourself on one number, 83.
Yeah. Then I lose both bets.
What a skill shot that would be. But you know, you can get out of the bet and leave yourself one loss where it's a double unit loss. But over 83.5. I don't think they go away. Do you think the Diamondbacks go away?
I mean, the one thing that the Rangers have kind of made themselves relevant.
Yeah.
The D-backs haven't because of the teams in the division and the National League. So I keep on waiting. Like, you played in the World Series last year. Like, where is that team?
They were asking the same question last year at the All-Star break of the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
The same exact question. The same thing. Like, they were not San Diego. They were not the Dodgers, obviously.
Right.
And the Giants were lurking and they were going to trade for Judge last year. Remember all that other nonsense and whatever. Nobody was talking about the Diamondbacks. Hell, nobody was talking about them when the playoffs showed up.
Right. True.
Like that. I mean, those prices on those exactas were absurd on the Diamondbacks. Nobody gave them a shot to get past the first round. You know, they beat Milwaukee, stepped right into the Dodgers series, pitching lined up perfectly. The Dodgers were a mess pitching-wise and won that series. Somehow battled back against the Phillies and we're in the World Series. So
get healthy and then get going, D-backs, because that could be the swinger. Because 4-1 is a whole lot better than 3-2, obviously, from a betting perspective. So
hell yeah,
it's a much more of a profitable futures market for me if we can go 4-1 versus going 3-2 from those bets. So we'll see with juice included and whatnot on what the profit margin will be with a 3-2 record versus a 4-1 record. All right, time for the Circus Sports Pro Football Team of the Day. Like you mentioned, we're heading to Reno, Nevada. We're heading on up for Friday the 26th. It is going to be a circa million weekend in Reno, in Sparks, Nevada. 2:30 to 4:30 BVB Live. We'll be there signing people up in the morning and in the afternoon after the show. If you guys are going to come, we'll give you some information on how to contact us to be a part of what we're going to go ahead and do. But in case you don't know what's going on, and frankly, Dave, we signed someone up yesterday who did not have much of a background into like, okay, what is this contest and what's happening and how do I play it? 6 million guaranteed. That's 5 games against the spread every single week. Survivor, that's 1 game per week. Pick a winner, survive in advance. Weekly picks for a $10 million guarantee. 2 ways to win. No rake. For more information, go to circasports.com or follow them on socials at Circa Sports. And reminder, if you are coming to town and you need to be taken care of or some help with your rooms, they are offering discounts for those who are signing up for the football contests, 25% off for one night at Circa D or the Golden Gate with one entry, all the way up to a 3-night complimentary stay at the Circa Resort and Casino if you do a full house, which is 10 survivors and 5 entries in the Circa Million. Okay, team of the day. It's number 25, New Orleans Saints. Win total is 7.5. It is juiced to the over, minus 130 to the over 7.5 for the New Orleans Saints. Is this it in your mind for Derek Carr? Like, if he doesn't get it done with the Saints this year, is he no longer a starting quarterback in the NFL? Feels that way.
You would think so, but the state of quarterback play in the NFL might dictate that there is another stop. I would think there is not.
On the way down?
Right, who knows? Somebody gets hurt, Jacksonville calls, or, Seattle calls, or I have no idea. I don't think
he should be one this year. Fair point.
JPC, Joe Claircheck,
by the way,
saying what people want to say. Boom.
Roger Long, to win the Circa Million, basically pencil in 72% and go up from there. You want to win
72% will be picking you up at the airport, or they will in the limo because you're coming to pick up a check.
Yes.
72 is, I think 68
put you in the money.
We'll get you in the neighborhood. It's listen, man, it's hard. It's a very hard contest. And there's a lot of people, but it's fun. The quarterly prizes are the money. This is what I told Matt last night. It was another Matt J, who signed up from Cleveland. As I was explaining to him, he's like, what's the goal? The goal is to get hot, be 13-2 in 3 weeks. Yeah. And then we'll have that discussion.
What to do.
Where he's going to really sweat that
What to do next. We had it last year with Z. Z was in that same spot last year.
Damn.
For a quarter. Darn Falcons. As he calls them,
different words.
The bleeping Falcons is what he now calls them. Yeah. So 7.5. Can we find 8 wins for the New Orleans Saints? I think we can.
Let me pull up. I have all their lines.
Okay.
Right here.
Home for Carolina.
Minus 5.5.
Yeah, win. At Dallas.
7-point dogs.
Loss. Home for Philadelphia.
3-point dogs.
Home dogs to Philly.
Yep.
At Atlanta.
At Atlanta, at KC, they're +4 and +8.5.
Win 1, lose 1.
Win 1?
Beat Atlanta and lose to KC.
Okay, I have them only 1 and 4 going.
It's a big rivalry game. It's a huge rivalry game.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at home.
Win.
Denver.
Hold on. That one is Tampa. Should probably be favored. They're 1.5. Yep.
Denver at home.
Only 4.
Okay. At the Chargers.
Win in there. 3.5-point dogs at the Chargers.
At Carolina. Favored.
-1.
Favored. Win. Home for Atlanta.
Well, if they lost the Atlanta game away, they win the home one.
Cleveland at home.
1.5-point favorite. That's it. Cleveland, 2.5-point home dogs.
They hit the bye week 11 here with 5 wins?
Go back to that schedule real quick.
Not bad. They hit the bye with 5 wins.
1
or 4.
2, 3, 4. I have 5.
Yeah,
5 and 5.
I think it's very possible. And then they have 3 winnable games. Rams at home, at the Giants, Commanders at home, at the Packers, Raiders at home, at Tampa. They can win 3 games of those 6. They can go 500 there.
So the only game they're favored in.
Vegas at home.
Washington.
At home.
At home.
They're home dogs to Vegas? Really?
No, they're 2-point favorites. I'm
going to
sorry.
say. Whoa. What?
So they're two games there.
Yep. Need
home,
1.
7.
Beat the Rams at home. Beat the Rams at home in some of the first. It's possible. Or go on the road to Tampa and win in week 18. Beat Tampa.
Home dogs to the Rams at home. What is that?
People love the Rams this year. They
My
think this is
God.
a huge year for
What?
Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it, but that's the rumor. That's the thought. So I think 8 wins. I think overs.
We did the Giants yesterday, right?
Yep. I think overs still
Remember
play.
if I had the Saints winning that game. No, I probably had the Saints losing that game to the Giants. So the Saints are good for winning one game they shouldn't every single year, AOWN minimum. Like they're taking somebody, but they're also 3-3. Okay. See, you guys get the show. I was thinking that. What do they go in a division? 3-3, very likely. Could go 4-2. Could go 4-2. If they go 4-2, they're going over the season wins. They're going over that number if they go 4-2 in the division. No question. That's the swing game. The Atlanta games are the swing. I mean, a division's still the worst in football, is it not?
Right, man. I just saw it. So Dave's daily picks. Thank you. I laid 8 with Minnesota. They won by 7. That sucks. That's a pain in the ass way to start the day. To lose it by a point. Opened 7.5.
Oh, the WNBA?
Yeah, closed 8. They won by 7. There's basketball for you. There's betting basketball for you. I don't know. I think the Saints are an over team. I think 8 wins is very possible. It's a hard place to go down there and play. Defense is always feisty. Can they stay healthy? Can their skill players? Can Chris Olave take a step and stay healthy and stay on the field? I like.
Coos just said the New Orleans not winning at Atlanta.
It could though. I mean, it's a big rivalry game.
Are one of these two teams winning the division?
Atlanta or New Orleans? No, I think Tampa. I think Tampa wins the division. So yeah. Tampa's gonna be, but like week 18, like they may have 7 wins and Tampa's already wrapped up the division. Tampa might not care about the game, and you wind up winning because of that reason. You get 8 that way.
Give the kids a football poll. See if they're active and watching the show. Who wins the NFC South?
Oh, you want a poll of this?
Yeah, Atlanta, the Saints, or the Bucks. ATL.
Oh, that's it. Nobody else can.
No, and who wins that division? The Carolina Panthers can't win that division, can they?
I don't know. You gotta do a poll. You gotta kind of do what
3 options only. If you want to write it in that you think Carolina, you put your name on it. Type it in the chat.
Look,
Carolina ain't winning the division, P-Roll.
Mark that down. On Wednesday, July the 17th, Dave's saying that Carolina cannot win the division. I'm not saying that. No way am I going to say that. No way. It's the NFL. Worst to first happens all the time.
Especially in this division.
And in crap divisions happens all the time. And if Bryce Young takes a massive step forward as a quarterback, plays MVP level talent quarterback play. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's a crap division. Crap division. So not impossible for that to happen, but obviously, we'll leave them off for now. You can guys see who's going to win the division. I think Tampa. Baker Mayfield coming back with Mike Evans. Woo, hoo, hoo. Let's go. Let's see what they look like.
Damn you.
That time I did get you.
Damn you.
That was good. Brigade Proxy, Pro Football Story of the Day. You guys can contact us at 702-570-8255. Like we mentioned, we'll be in Reno. So you guys are in the Reno area or can get to Reno and you can't get to Vegas. Well, we'll be up there on Friday morning-ish until the afternoon, into the evening-ish in Sparks, Nevada at the Circus Sports location for the Brigade Proxy Service, 702-570-8255. We are also here for the Westgate Super Contest. If you guys are going to come in for that Westgate weekend in August, we should be playing in that golf tournament. Did we find out when the date of the tournament is? What? The 16th.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So the 16th we're playing
12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is Friday. 17 is Saturday, no? Yeah.
But golf might be Friday, though. Golf could be Friday.
Pretty sure it's Saturday.
Okay, perfect. Even better. We're off. So that's great. So we'll do that on that. So we'll be excited to see it. 702-570-8255 is the text line. You guys can go to the website, thebvbshow.com. If you guys want to go and take a look at a email, little form to fill out for a question, whatever you might have for the Brigade Proxy Service, we'll take care of you guys on that. This comes locally. Devonte Adams' agent says the trade rumors are unfounded after Dan Orlovsky went on ESPN yesterday and basically said that Devonte Adams will be a Jet, that he is going to play with Aaron Rodgers this year, and that the Jets should do anything and everything to make this happen. Mortgage the future to have Devonte Adams play with Aaron Rodgers.
Think that's a good a good idea?
Nope.
If you're in the division, you do.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. I think go crazy. I love it. But the agents for Devonte Adams shut down these rumors. Quote, this is baseless, unfounded speculation, and Devonte is expected to be with the Raiders and there's absolutely no talk, period, about this.
Why? Why even put this out?
Because Aaron Rodgers was asked about Adams, saying, quote, I love Devonte. I can't wait to play with him again.
Oh, he just said it like that?
Yep.
I mean, we kind of say what we want here on the show.
Yep.
It is kind of nice to just say whatever you want. Don't worry about the ramifications. But, I mean, it's a team sport. There's things that can happen here. I mean, unfounded?
Yeah.
Would it shock you?
Yes.
If he ended up a Jet?
Yes. Yes, it would shock me if he ended up a Jet. Absolutely. Yes, please, Jets, send the Raiders your next decade of picks for Devonte. Yeah. I think what people are responding to, Jason Casey, you're right. And I've just started watching this. I'm going to watch it a lot more this week because I got massive time on my hands this week. So I'm going to watch a lot more of this. That the receiver series on Netflix, you see Adams frustrated with the Raiders over and over again, frustrated with what the quarterback play is, frustrated with the quarterback decision-making, frustrated with the offense as a whole. And essentially he's out there running wind sprints. Like he's not getting targeted. He's not getting the ball thrown to him nearly as much as it should.
Right.
And they're not building the offense around him the way that they should. So now what happens? Because now the question is, if he's not going to wind up playing for the Raiders, where would he go? Well, the most likely spot would be the Jets, but would the Raiders actually trade him? No, I don't think the Raiders would trade him. I really don't.
I have no idea what they would do, but I don't think they would either. If they have any sort of, do you need him to help the quarterback situation? Like him going and them getting I don't know if it's a king's ransom, but them changing that sets everything back, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're punting on the rebuild. Yes, you're going back into a full-blown rebuild with the Raiders, which arguably is not a horrible idea, because if you do that, you're running the clock with with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Like the whole idea for the Raiders, this was the whole idea for the Bills. The Bills wanted to be in position to take the division over when Brady left. So they built all their team. They built their roster. They signed the contracts. They made decisions all to get to the place where when it's over, we're the next one in line. And so far, that's pretty much been the case. They haven't gone to the Super Bowl yet, but they've been the next team, the best team in the East for a while since the Patriots dynasty ended. So now I think if you're the Raiders, when does it stop for the Chiefs? Because it's going to stop. No one's ever three-peated, but they could this year. But this run is coming to a close because, well, they're going to get this. Father Time's going to win. Mahomes can play forever, but Kelsey's career is going to be what? He says he's going to play till the wheels falls off. That's his line. I'm going to play till the wheels falls off. Okay, you're one big hit from that happening.
Right.
At his age, right? Over the middle, you get crushed by some safety and see you later, just like Gronk. You know, Gronk, everything was great, and then his back went, and then everything was great, and then the knee went. Like it just, as you get older, you take more and more contact, you're going to have injuries, and it's going to become more problematic for you to be out there on the field every single Sunday. So if you're the Raiders, I don't think it's a bad idea if the Jets are going to give you 5 first-round picks or something stupid for them. I think you have to do it. Yeah, how many arrests do the Chiefs have left in them? It's a good. Isn't it funny, though, football guy, how KC gets arrested like every 2 seconds and no one talks about it? If that was the Patriots, do you know, it would be front and center on ESPN every second. It's amazing. Guys are driving drunk. Guys are driving 100 miles an hour. It's the Chiefs. We're all good. Is it because it's middle America, so no one's talking about it?
I didn't even hear about it.
Right. You haven't heard about it. Number, look up Chiefs arrests in the offseason and the number of arrests that have happened this offseason for the Chiefs. It's
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah,
Really?
it's like 7 guys who've been arrested this offseason
No
for the Chiefs. Yes, but no one's talking about it. No one's having a conversation. It's all just like, shh, don't talk. It's okay. Because they're not star players who are getting arrested, but it's role players. It's guys who were on the championship team last year, guys with rings on their finger are getting arrested.
Have you heard that Patrick Mahomes never took a TV to training camp, and he's taking one now to play the video game?
Stop the world. Everything's going to be.
He's distracted.
Dynasty's over.
At the no on the Chiefs Super Bowl because he's going to be playing the game at camp. This is the summer. Give me the numbers, please. I can't take these conversations. Enough.
You might need this. The BetterHelp.com online therapy pause of the day.
Oh, pause.
we'll pause on this. Guys, BetterHelp has stepped up. They are a new sponsor for us here with BVB. We really want to thank them for coming on board and talking to you guys about your overall mental health and mental condition as to where you are at. It's the summertime, okay? So this is sort of a chance to hit pause and think about where you are. Take assessment where you are. How are you feeling? How are you doing? If you're going through it, we love it when you guys reach out to us. And we've had people this week. Dave talked about it yesterday. We got brigade members who are going through the thick of it right now and really having a tough time. We love that this show is here for you guys, but we talk at you more than with you. If you need to talk with somebody, BetterHelp.com is here for you. You can go use a promo code BVB to get a discount for your first couple of sessions. They do video conferencing. They do chat messages. They do phone calls. It's all online. So it's up to your schedule as to how you do it and when you do it and where you do it. You can do a therapy session from your car if you want to. You sit there and just do it from your house, do it from your work, wherever you want to do it, wherever it fits into your life. You can do it by going to BetterHelp.com online therapy. And look, Dave, I love the fact people talk to us, but sometimes you got to talk to somebody else.
No doubt. Yeah, we had a situation yesterday that I thought that was a perfect time for that to come up with one of the guys that watches the show and participates in the chat and all this other stuff. You definitely need it. A lot of times you don't even know you need it.
Huh.
The cool thing about this is you can try it.
Right.
It's right there. You got a promo code, you got all this other stuff and you can do it right, like anonymously in your car, and you don't have to do it. You don't even have to tell anybody you do it.
Right. Because if you go to a therapist's office, you're in a waiting room, you're walking by people.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, but it's awkward. I mean, it can be awkward to be outside, and it can be awkward when you're just going with yourself or with someone else and going for therapy, and you're going to walk in and it's like, okay, it's different for sure. So, BetterHelp's the world's largest therapy service, facilitating over 5 million video sessions, voice calls, chats, and messages every month. Since 2013, over 30,000 licensed, accredited, and board-certified therapists from BetterHelp's network have helped more than 2 million people face life's challenges and improve their mental health. For a discount on your first couple of visits, use the promo code BVB when you sign up at BetterHelp.com.
Pretty easy to remember, boys.
BVB right there for BetterHelp.com with your online therapy pause of the day. July 17th, 1941, Dave, today, long time ago today, Joe DiMaggio's hit streak of 56 games ended against Cleveland. He went 0 for 3. In hindsight, this is stupid, right? 56 games with a hit in Major League Baseball.
There's things that are never going to be broken.
Yep.
And then there's this, which is never going to be broken. This is when you start to I love the history of baseball.
Right.
And I still have never been to the Hall of Fame, and I will go at some point.
Okay.
But this is that one thing that you can just look up there and go, that had to be. In 1941, there was nobody keeping track. There was no hit tracker. There was no, looking back at it now, I remember when Rose was getting, got up to 40.
Okay.
And going, he still got 2.5 weeks of games to get a hit. It was crazy. This is that one thing that I just know It ain't going to happen again. I can't imagine. What'd he do? Ground out, strike out. I have to look at the box score.
Oh for 3 is what he went.
Yeah, I wonder what he did. Like, was there a defensive play that robbed him of it, or was it just that day? It was just had to end that day.
I think it's one of those records where
Scam Likely. I'm getting a call right now from Scam Likely. I almost wanted to bring them on the show.
No, don't do that. I just wonder if we ever, like, for instance, what happened with Angel Reese, different sport, I know, but Angel Reese was, I think it was 16 straight double-doubles. She had the longest in the history of the WNBA.
Oh, until it wasn't when they quadruple teamed her?
She had 8 points, and in the last minute of the game, quadruple teamed her up 15 to not let her get to 17 straight double-doubles.
That's how you know it meant something to them.
Well, my point is, are you ever going to allow a guy who's at 50 to get to 51? Like, don't you just pitch around him? You say, all right, this guy gets a hit every single time he's up. I'm not going to pitch to this guy. We're going to put him on every time. We've got the automatic walk now. You just throw up 4 fingers and you walk the guy every time. I'm not sure they're allowed to do that.
Guys in the chat, what's the second longest hit streak
ever?
Yeah, in Major League Baseball.
40, isn't it?
I thought it was.
What did Ariz do when he went to the Marlins? Now we got traded, but what did he get to?
30 something. I don't know.
45. Willie Keeler, Baltimore Orioles. 18.
Willie Keeler. That was his nickname. Wee Willie.
Okay. 1896 to 1897.
I did not know him.
Pete Rose, 44 games in 1978.
That's the one I'm talking about. As a little kid.
Yeah. Bill Dolan of the Cubs, 42 games in 1894.
I see those ones in the 1800s, like the official score would be like, just make it a hit.
I agree. Throw them out. It's a complete BS. Yeah. I'm with you. With George Sisler of the St. Louis Browns had a 41 gamer in 1922.
Okay.
Ty Cobb had one with the Tigers of 40 games in 1911.
Okay.
Paul Molitor of the Brewers had a 39-game hit streak in 1987.
Remember that one.
Jimmy Rollins of the Phillies in 2005 and 6 over 2 seasons had a 38-gamer.
I mean, that's a nice accomplishment. Jimmy Rollins was great.
But
I love it.
Split, right? Yeah, I agree. Not the same. Splitting it, not the same. And then a lot of them, I mean, to get like Chase Utley had a 35-gamer. Luis Castillo had a 35-gamer in 2002 and 2006. Dom DiMaggio for the Red Sox, 34 games in 1949.
Yeah, Joe's brother.
Yep.
That's Joe's brother.
Yep. Joe's brother had one for the Red Sox. Let's see.
Look at this. Senior member of the brigade, Roger Long, was at Pete's number 43. 0 for 2. People were wondering. And then he got a double, a single, one more game, and it ended. That's pretty cool. Roger was there to see the second longest hit streak continue. That's pretty good. I'm guessing I saw him that year.
In 78?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's so like vivid in my mind, like being important, like for being an 8-year-old.
Right. Active players. So Freddie Freeman had a 30-gamer. Looking for guys who are currently in the bigs. I think that's the record for an active player at the moment. 30 games for Freddie Freeman. Everybody else is retired. Yeah, everyone else is retired. That's amazing. Oh, is Ryan Zimmerman still playing?
Ryan Zimmerman? No.
Yeah.
Retired.
He's retired?
Yeah.
So that's it. Only Freddie Freeman's actively still playing baseball. Pujols had a 30-gamer. Like a bunch of guys had 30 gamers.
Right.
30 seems to be like the cutoff. Like,
I mean, think about that. You get a hit every day for a month. You play almost every day, and
right?
Every day you get on base. Like
you get a hit. That's on base. You get a hit.
Right. Not just a walk or like that's
getting on base is one thing. Getting a hit's another.
That is impressive. I mean, and Joe D did it for almost 2 months. That's a hell of a run.
It really
That's
is.
Never happening again. Ever.
Ever?
Ian Lights Out just came in the chat and he said, I said it. The Carolina Panthers could win that division. All right, Ian.
Did you know an intentional walk does not satisfy an exact plate appearance walk bet? In fact, there's not an intentional walk option in the exact plate appearances. Mr. Book?
What the F are we doing?
How do you feel about that?
It's crap. That's
So if I go up, if I have a walk prop and I get intentionally walked, I'm not getting the walk bet to come in?
I guess not.
So you have to walk with four
what
pitches?
Book is that, Wrench Addison? What book is that? Yeah.
He must be getting schools. Man, what book is that? Is right.
Yeah. I mean, because that that has to be separated. Like, not only when you grade the walk prop, you can't just look at the damn box score. Now you have to go in and go, is that an intentional walk? Every time that has to be graded like that?
Why is that?
Crap. It's crap. I don't know.
What? That's dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why that is. Is that in defense of, like, who gets a lot of intentional walks? Like Barry Bonds would have been a monster bet, right?
Shohei's going to get it eventually.
I was going to say, is this the Shohei treatment?
Yeah, at some point Shohei's going to get it.
He said it was DraftKings, DK. Wow.
Not good. Did you agree with this from Brennan? Deep dive in MLB records. They have some of the most unbeatable in sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the way they used to play the game and the way to, like, one pitcher used to pitch 3 days a week and however they did it, like
innings, strikeouts.
Jimmy Football just typed Hack Wilson, 191 RBIs in a season. In a season. That ain't never being touched. How do you get 191 RBIs in a season? Yeah, none of that makes sense. IBB in the box score at the bottom. Thank you, CBW.
Intentional.
Oh, it's the judge prop. Oh, it's the judge stipulation. Judge and Ohtani. Yeah.
But what does that matter if I get walked intentionally or I get a 4-pitch walk? What is the difference if I have a guy who's out here like this throwing 1, 2, 3, 4 walk, or I go like this, it's a 4-pitch walk? What are we doing? That's dumb. So I have to have the ball be thrown in play to have my prop bet cash on a walk? A walk is a walk. We've made the rule to save pitchers' arms. So because of that reason why, I have to now go into a micro market? What are we doing? That's the stupidest thing I've heard in a long time. Like, you better, like, this is what I mean about common sense in sports betting, in sports books. Like, how much money are you actually, sorry, Will, how much money are you actually fucking on the hook for?
Here we go.
Like seriously, like, honestly, how much money, you tell me, Dave, how much money is DraftKings on the hook for if they lost everyone's yes bet on a walk for Aaron Judge? 5 dimes, 10 dimes, 20 dimes? How much?
Not even. It's pocket change on the floor of your car.
They were fined $100,000 for giving out, or sorry, $2,000 for giving out $280,000. It was like, 5 days, 6 days later. 6 days later, we gave out $280,000 and I got a $2,000 fine. But we can't just grade a walk. We have to micro the market.
We might have to watch it from the inside.
Like,
they might have made that rule for the inside. That might have
why?
been. What do you mean? You put up a walk prop number.
Okay, good question. What happens if it's 3-0 count and I go like this? 4, put them on. That's an IBB? That's an intentional base on balls?
If the official score puts it in that way, what if you don't put it in that way?
So what happens if I do that? What if I go ahead and do it did right IBB, just a walk? BB, base on balls.
I thought you said PP.
BB, baseball, base on balls.
Like BBB.
I mean, this is very strange to me. Like, these are the types of things where you're causing more drama and more anxiety.
Yes.
It's a simple fix. It's just common sense to do
walk
this.
Is a walk.
A walk is a walk, period. Whether I
walk.
throw the ball or not, because the whole point was to stop the pitchers from throwing stupid. Here we go, throw aside. But it was to speed the game up. That was the whole point of this. So now we're going to require gamblers to know your house rules as to whether or not a ball that's thrown to the outside, or 4 fingers being put up on this, with 4 fingers being put up. Like, come on, man. You can't expect the average person to go and read. Otherwise, when I sign up for an account, someone said this to me before. Actually, this is awesome. While I was in vacation, someone asked me this question. I can ask you this right now. When I sign up for an account, right? Like when I go and buy a new dishwasher, they give me a manual that gives me all the rules and regulations as to my warranty, as to who to contact if I have a problem, where can I go to get more information. When I sign up for a sportsbook account, why don't they hand me a book of the house rules?
They're on the app.
Why don't I get sent it though? So
They're on the app.
I don't get an email that says, here's our house rules.
They're on the app. There's a button on the app.
They're on the app. I know that, but you have to find it. But if I'm new to the game, if I'm a brand new gambler and I don't know what a house rule is, right? If I've never heard of dead heat before,
it's the worst.
Shouldn't there be some type of conversation with the customer as to this is what we do? This is how our rules are set up. So you have an idea. They want the public to be ignorant. Well, like that was my answer. My answer is they don't want you to know the answer to that question.
Well, they only want you to know if you ask.
But if I don't know to ask, this is life. If I don't know, I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So like if I'm supposed to know something, I've never heard of something. What do you mean? If my guy comes in tied for 10th, I don't get paid out because you say that we're going to reassess the odds based upon what I bet after I bet? On what planet do we get to renegotiate on the blackjack table what my payout is? Like on what planet do I sit down, flip over, it's 2-1 blackjack, and they go, actually, you know what? That guy got 2-1 blackjack too. So now it's 1-1 blackjack. Sorry. Like, wait, what?
My dismay when I learned this business on the street at home, and then I went to Curacao and learned this business on the phone. No internet wagering, none of this other stuff. We had to hash it out over a phone call. And it was your lifeblood. There was no other business. We were down there in an office taking bets. That's what it was. I come to Vegas and I get a job in a book. And they go, this guy, you come up to the counter and have a question like that. And I go, well, where does it say that? Because the guy is right, what he's asking me. And I go to the supervisor and say, well, what do you mean it's in the house rules? Where's the house rules? And they go, over there. And I said, I've been here for 6 months. I've been walking by. That's the house rules posted on the wall like a store has to post that their health inspection pass.
No shirt, no shoes, no service type post.
Whatever. It's in tiny, small print and all this other stuff. And I'm like, it says that over there where? They're like, oh, it's in there. Blah, blah, blah. Wow.
Do you know what the new scam is in Vegas? Which someone just outed this. And I know you will have known this, but it's now being outed. If you have blackjack at your outdoor pool, you are not legally allowed to charge a cover.
Oh.
And so if you have blackjack at your pool, swim up blackjack, blackjack tables, they're not legally allowed. All you have to do is play one hand of blackjack, and they're not legally allowed to charge you a cover.
I mean, I already knew that.
Right, but I didn't know this. And it's being outed now because there was an interaction between this guy, this professional guy who was a pro poker player who was here for the World Series of Poker, and he was going to, I'll leave the establishment nameless, but the guy said, I need $50 from all 4 of you to come into the pool. And the guy said, what do you mean? And he goes, I need $50 cash from all of you guys to get in. That's the cover charge for the pool party for you to come in. And the guy goes, well, that's kind of interesting, sir. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, you want to show me your supervisor? And he was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, show me your boss. And the guy comes over and says, hey, do you know there's a sign behind him right now that says no one can be denied service if you have blackjack being played here? I don't have to pay to get access to your blackjack table. And the guy was like, yeah, he's right. You can go play. And like the bouncer was like, okay, guys, go on in. It's like, I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, that's wild. But if you come to town and anyone ever tries to charge you or ask you to pay a cover fee and they've got a blackjack table inside their establishment, simply say, I'm going to play blackjack. and they can't force you to pay or deny you entry. It's against Nevada law.
I've seen it lead to some controversial discussions, but it's true. And the house rules, some of the worst conversations I ever had at the counter was over the house rules. The worst. Some of the worst conversations over the phone were over the house rules. One of the worst things I had to do when I went to West Virginia was write the house rules. And I was like, I don't even want to talk about this. I never want to talk about this. We have to put this in here. And, you know, I had another guy who was really writing them, and I had to, you know, highlight, say this stipulation, that could come up. What if this app does this? What if it says this? I mean, in the book, when I came back from West Virginia, every sheet had to have the stipulation on it when we put out the number. So the house rule was on every sheet for different things, or on the line of the bet. Like the Super Bowl was a nightmare the first time we had to do the sheet packet thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this happens, there is no bet. If this happens, there's no bet. This walk thing, Addison, I can't figure it out. That's
bad. That sucks, terrible. Man. I'm sorry. That sucks. All right, quickie into better to book it because only one game left to go today in all of sports. One. I'm taking the home dog. Everyone's on the fever. Everyone likes Caitlin Clark to win and cover. I'm taking Dallas at home plus 4.5.
Let's see here. What'd you do?
I lost my first bet by a point.
Right.
But again, I told you, I go 50-50 every time. If I lost my first one, I won my second one.
Well, I mean, the book needs it. That makes sense. I say bet it. I mean, you want to be a book guy, and like I got to keep the card to be the book guy. So I'll say we'll take the home dog. I mean, we got there yesterday with the other game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, missed the first one, got the second one. Same thing. Yeah. missed the first one, got the second one. With Dallas plus 4.5 against the fever. Favorite thing about today is what?
Are we trying to get this all in?
Sure. Yeah.
Favorite thing about today.
It's a slow.
I wake up. Well, I woke up early today, and I put on the weighted vest and started walking.
Good. What time? It's hot as hell outside. What'd you do?
It was like 6 in the morning.
Smart.
5:30, something like that. I don't know. I woke up and said, I got to go.
Time to do it.
I can't sit at home, whatever. And I got on a Twitter Spaces with a kid who I did an interview with like 4 years ago. Cap'n Colt is what his Twitter thing was.
Okay.
And he's kind of morphed into a lot of different things. And I had a conversation with him a couple years ago and said, man, listen, I'd love to help you. I can't help you right now. Me and you were underwater. We were literally being told, you're out, you're this, you're that. And, you know, what looks like this on the water sometimes is that duck underneath swimming. We try to keep it like this all the time. I had just a bad night of sleep, a bad dream, and just a lot of things bad. And I started walking, and his Twitter Spaces was going. He's changed around his life mentally a lot. And Colt put me in the right frame of mind today with music. There he is right there. Colton Stronka. Colt, love you, bro. Like, that was awesome today. He does music, and then he's got people that come in and out and tell positive stories and things like this. I actually jumped on. I didn't want to overtake his Twitter Spaces, but he thanked me like for things while he was talking. And I said, you know what? I'm going to request to speak. And I did. It was all love. If you're up early, now it's early out west. It starts at 5 in the morning, but it's music. And then it's like just mindset stuff. I'm having the best day ever today. I've done 3 loads of laundry.
Good.
I've got all this other stuff going. I just want to thank Colt. My favorite thing about today was that Twitter Spaces, Java and Jams. That's what it was.
Java and Jams.
It was awesome.
Good stuff. I will do my favorite thing about today on the other side. We'll do it quickly here before we can let go of SiriusXM. Channel 139 and Sports Grid TV. Thanks, guys, for being here. We appreciate it. For you guys who are watching with us live on Twitter and or on YouTube at Boston versus the Book, don't move. You guys are getting bonus time.
You ain't gonna throw up, are you?
No. I got two of them that I'll do fast on this. I'll have to check this out, Colton. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you being part of the show. Very, very cool. The first is, it is super rewarding, and this is a thank you to the brigade, because I come back and I'll talk about more on coming back in a second, but it feels like football season. We got buzz on buzz. We got meetings. Even during the show today, we got 2 meetings booked that just came through. Just came. I don't think you've even seen the latest one. Just came in 20 minutes ago. That the activity that is starting to pick up, because I remember sitting at a meeting with one of the people that helped this show to become a reality, and the person said to me, "Do you feel like this show is where this show should be?" This was after about a year, and I went,
Was after 5 months.
Yeah, I said, I go, we started building this like from nothing, right?
Zero.
Like when Vegas was built, it was a fucking desert. That's all it was.
Now we can let it fly.
None of this shit was around. Like all the trees, all the buildings, all the water, everything had to be built and brought in. You had to build everything. You had to ship everything. You had to establish a brand. You had to build and build and build. And so I was like, yes, the show is exactly where the show should be. It's going to be like 3 to 5 years to get the show to be somewhere where we're all like, yes, this is going to be healthy. What did you think we were going to be? An overnight success and be like Pat McAfee on ESPN after year 1? What are we talking about?
Pat to get there?
Right. It took Pat 20 years of building his name up and brand and get it there. It takes a long time. So when the level of activity, because normally we're the ones going out to people and saying, hey,
first freeze. Fuck it. I can't believe it. You were right there.
I mean,
you brought it right there. And you fucking froze.
Hold on.
Hold on.
So don't
start talking yet. Snap your fingers.
I should be back.
I missed that for 2 weeks.
I'm back.
You're back.
Okay, good. So this. Sorry, my bad. So yes, first one 2 weeks because it's 1:15. So this is when people come to us and come at us and say, "Hey, what if we do X, Y, and Z?" I get a hard on. Like I get so excited.
This is taking a whole new turn.
I get so
holy
excited.
shit.
We're in bonus time. I get so excited when these things are happening because it's like, wow, we're finally getting people to say, you know what's going on right there? This is different. What you guys are doing is different. And Sport Trade has locked in. Sports Trade has been with us for a long time. Okay, Sports Trade came to us and said, we're not doing a 6-week thing, guys. We're coming in long term. We're doing this for a long term. So these guys are with us long term. We have another property that wants to come back and be a part with us long term. We've got someone else new who wants to be a part with us long term. We have others who are reaching out to us. So this is me saying thank you to everybody in the chat, everybody who has interacted with this show, everyone that's helping this show become what it is, because this is as organic as it can fucking get. We have been alone. We don't have anyone supporting us. We don't have anyone doing anything for us. This is a 2-man operation, and everything you see is a 2-man operation, no matter how many people want to get out there and say, well, how about that team you guys have working behind you? What fucking team are you talking about? the two of us?
Listen, we've had contributors, but it's
sure
going on the payroll. I mean, like,
Eric helps us when we do live shows. We've had a producer. When the show started, we had a producer.
Farrah had to make a move, and it was gone. Farrah was there at the start.
Yes. But since we went
Corbin
on our
making
own,
these hats, like we got
March
Sonic making overlays.
Yeah. In March of 23, you guys are coming to us and saying, I want to buy equipment for you guys. Like, wait, what? Hold on a second. You don't need to do that. But this is where you guys are there for us to say, this is different. This is something special. We want to be a part of this. We want to be a contributor, a help, whatever to go. You talked about yesterday, things that we want to do, and ultimately guys we want to hire and build out teams and do all these different things. Like, we're just trying to survive. Like, all the things we've been trying to do, Like if we get to the point where we can breathe and then we can start building, like look out.
Look out.
Just like look out.
Look
everything
the fuck out.
Everything we've done is simply trying to keep the fucking lights on.
That's it.
Literally for 2 years. It's just as you said, keep doing the show.
Keep doing the show.
You have to do to keep doing the show. And that's all we've been trying to accomplish. And now, as we head towards football season, and now it's July, and now people are knocking on doors saying, all right, guys, August 1st, football season's coming. What can we do with you guys? It's very exciting that we get to pick and choose, that we get to say, well, you know what? I don't know if we want to do stuff with you. Like, I don't know if we really want to do anything with you.
Hold on.
I'm just saying, we want to talk to everyone, but we don't have to do the deals that we used to have to do. We had to do everybody. Every time we had a conversation, it was like, we thought about doing things that we never wanted to do because we had to keep the lights on. We just had to, and now we don't have to do that. So favorite thing about today is I love coming back to town and I love seeing the interaction and I love seeing people wanting to be a part of it. The second is vacations are funny because oftentimes we always say, take your paid time off. And yes, I did work for a week plus when I was in New England, but I cannot tell you what the clarity I got from just stepping away and unplugging and just going and being around my family and doing things that, I was sitting, by a marina eating a lobster roll with my daughter, Amanda, and her son. And I'm just looking to myself going like, I can't like this is a dream for me right now. Like I have no worries. The weather's gorgeous. I'm around people that I care about. People who care about me. And I come back here like with guns blazing, ready to go. Like I am so excited for football season. I'm so excited for the next 6 months. I'm so ready to go. Take your paid time off, guys. In this country, take your paid time off. If you have the chance to do it, we're a little different because we get to dictate when we want to take time off. No one really can tell us what to do. But man, take the time to go on vacation or just to take the time to be down, to unplug, to unwind. And then you come back just with a completely blank slate. And it feels really, really good to do it. So you have over 260 hours. Use that shit, man.
Listen.
Woo.
I used to tell the guys in the book the same thing. Use it because they ain't going to just give it to you. Use it. You don't get no award for letting that shit build up.
Yeah, and you're right. I am in a really good place right now. Absolutely. I'm as happy as I've been in a very, very, very long time. Yes, that's 100%. Given where I was to where I am, whoop, flip it around. 180. Right. I'm on a 180. I'm on an absolute 180 spot to where this show, everything we're doing, everything we're growing personally and professionally, I remind myself quite regularly that 2 years ago was the antithesis on every level of this right now. Blessings.
We had to figure it out. We figured it out. We keep figuring it out. We keep learning. We don't make every fucking right move. Mm-hmm. That's okay. And
you have 550 hours?
Geez,
Mikey,
take
your time.
You got to use it.
You got to use it, dude.
Use it. Come back to Vegas. Yeah. I mean, what the hell are you doing?
Come on.
One of the things that somebody said on Colt's show this morning was it really hit home about put yourself around people that motivate you.
Amen to that. Look around your fan base and look around your friend group and you'll see your future.
That, and if they're not motivating you, they're probably taking from you. Like it's almost like,
don't be the smartest person in the room.
You don't have to be all the time. You don't want to be all the time. If you're that all the time, it's probably, you got to branch out.
Change the room.
Different. Like
change the room.
Change the room. At least take a ride somewhere and go, learn something, do something different. The other thing that was said this morning that it was fun to go back and forth for a minute with Colt was when they tell you you're crazy.
Oh, I love this one.
You're on to something.
Hell yeah.
And I listened to my dad for years say, Dave, I am crazy. And we would laugh as kids. We were like, Dad, why do you say you're crazy? He goes, because I fucking am, but I don't care. Be crazy with me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about two jagoffs that were doing this show? We had a producer that was helping, hurting, whatever it was at the time, and all these things. And then they said, guys, we're done with you. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to keep doing the show. How the hell are we going to do that? I don't know. I don't know yet, but we're going to keep doing the show. Said, all right, we're going to learn this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We reach out to a couple people. We build this thing. We keep showing up and doing the show. Let's go. Be fucking crazy. We're crazy. I love being crazy. I love when they tell us, you two are fucking crazy. Damn right we are. We're putting that on a t-shirt.
Right.
Be crazy. Be crazy.
There's a song called Swan Dive by Ani DeFranco, who's obviously a major, I tweeted out this morning about 4 albums that had massive influence in my life, and Dilate was one album.
That was good. I didn't know none of those.
Those are all, they didn't change my life. Yours were definitely old school. Like those are vinyl records that you were putting out on yours. Smokey Robinson and all stuff. But the Temptations, whatever it was. But there's a line in one of those songs about, basically all it talks about is be 1 in a million. Like all you need is give me a 1 in a million chance. Like give me a chance. And then you can call me crazy, but if I succeed, what are we trying to do? And there's a lyric, I'm not going to read it, but in the lyric passage in that song, that let me leave in radio all the time, because telling my family I was going to move to Virginia and then Alabama and then Nebraska and then Iowa, every time I told them I was going to one of these states, my whole family was like, wait, what are you doing? By yourself? Do you know anybody there? No. Do we have family there? No. What are you going to do your whole life? You're picking up your life and moving for a job? Yes. Why? Because this is what I want to do. This is the dream. I'm chasing it. I'm going to go after it. So it's just been in me. I love that idea that to be crazy, to be insane. I mean, look at all those people. Look at all the people who've done things in the world that have changed the course of whatever they're a part of.
Every one of them was called crazy at some point.
Yeah, we're not changing history here or the world doing a fucking talk show on sports gambling, okay? No. But you're trying to do something that's unique and different and outside of the norm, and people don't want you to succeed half the time because they don't have the balls to do it. They can't do it, so if you do it, it shows that they couldn't do it. And now it's a reflection on them. Now it's, well, fuck you. You did it? Wait. No. You guys can't do that. You can't go on your own and make that. I mean, how are you doing this? How are you able to do a show like this? This makes no sense. I don't know. We just did it.
We start at ish time every day. We book guests. We do this. We do graphics now. We got to, I don't know. How do you do it? I don't know.
We just did it.
Yeah.
You just do it and you get it done and you do it the way, and then and if you build it, people will come. And people struggle in this business to get attention. I get it. People want certain types of things, Well, you guys don't do bets, right? Well, how do you get people to interact? You're talking sports betting, but you're not talking about gambling, right? We're not interested in that. Really? Yeah. I mean, fuck your record. We don't care.
Listen, man, you can go and put it somewhere else like that. Yeah. Do you?
And we do us.
People all the time. Just if that's what you want to do you.
Yeah.
We're over here
doing us.
Being fucking crazy. It's fine.
But that's the point. Do you find a opportunity to present to the world something you're proud of? And that was this show to me. To present to the world what's the show that you always thought you could be a part of that could be bigger than anything you've ever done? Here it is. 2 hours every day. Straight. Commercial breaks? No commercial breaks. You guys talk for 2 hours straight every day with no commercials. Correct. It's great. It's great stuff. So favorite thing about today, Brigade, thank you for everything. We are so fired up for what's going to happen coming up here. Tomorrow is a Thursday. We're back. Weather's cooling off. Football around the corner. More BVB tomorrow, Thursday. Matt, Dave, hope to see y'all with us here for Thursday's BVB.